Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here comes the girl. It's more than practical. Here comes the girl. Way more than merely factual. If you want to know the secrets of a life, it's free. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
Yes, welcome. I am Dr. Natasha, and this is Robyn Rice Olmsted. And yes, we are Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
We are, and welcome to our show. So good to be here with you. So glad you found us since we've changed times. And if you're finding us by accident thinking, oh, I thought they were Tuesday, we are not Tuesday anymore. We are now Thursday's child. So here we are, and I am in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yep. And I'm in Brisbane, Queensland, down in what's becoming warm Australia right now.
And what's cooling off here. So I am happy to exchange a little bit with you that weather thing.
Nice.
I know. So what we like to do here is we are Girls Behaving Metaphysically, which means we believe that it's all metaphysical. You can't put us in a box. We are here to be unboxed and live wildly and boldly into this metaphysical state, which means anything goes and we can find the metaphysical in it. So there you have it. And one of the ways we do that is by pulling a card each week, pulling a card to see what spirit has to tell us, because as the metaphysical woo-woo girls that we are, we like to see what the signs are and what's leading us where, what it all means. Right?
All right. Yes. And so you have the interesting deck these days. I mean, I have interesting decks, but I always forget to bring them in my office. So I just have the same two decks.
Okay. I'm going to pull from the Soulful Woman then, because I'm feeling like soulful women. So you say when.
When?
Asking opens a pathway. When I ask questions of my inner being, I discover that beautiful and helpful answers always come to me. And here, here's the card.
Asking opens a pathway. Can you read the bottom part? I mean, the subscript again?
When I ask questions of my inner being, I discover that beautiful and helpful answers always come to me.
That's really lovely. Asking opens a pathway. Nothing's coming up for me around that right now. What about you?
Well, I think for me, it's about really relying on your inner self. I mean, going to yourself for answers instead of looking outside. You know, and that when I really sit with something, the answer comes to me. I don't know how beautiful it always is. I mean, that's a little stretch for me, but it comes to me nonetheless. And I think that, you know, when I'm listening to that still small voice within, or God's whisper, or whatever you want to call it, you know, I come in from a different perspective. And generally it is the truth and my truth and the guiding sign. And I also think it has to do with trusting your intuition. and
Mm.
knowing that the answer is not outside yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
really, if you do stop and you listen, the answer will, there is an answer there.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I just found, I opened it to the page in the book, and it
Mm-hmm.
says, um, the same thing as on the card. Whenever I don't know what to do, I turn within and ask for guidance and answers. Then they come. Sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly, a knowing, a sense, an image, a name, a next step, a possible pathway. I am discovering
Mm.
the answers come to me when I ask for them and when I give myself enough time and space to listen for them and receive them. I know that it is essential to ask for guidance with the expectation that I will receive it. I wait calmly and quietly for fresh insights and ideas to flow towards me.
Mm.
Well, the I that is speaking in this book is clearly much more patient than I.
That's awesome.
I don't
Yeah, I
know,
was impressed. I was like, ooh, I think just that amount of patience would like
right? Because
lead
it's
to.
not, yeah, it's not always a slow, easy, graceful thing. Um, it says, asking gives me a sense of positive expectation and opens me to a world of possibilities. I am learning to ask wiser questions all the time. Asking opens
Mm.
the door to new information and fresh energy and to the unexpected.
Hmm. Yeah, I, I that's really beautiful. I usually, when I don't know what to do, I usually start calling people.
Well, but I think that's important. I think that's a great thing to talk about because what do we do when we don't know what to do? And I think that, yeah, it's, I don't want to say rare, but I mean, I think we ask all the time. I don't know how much we listen, you
Mm.
know. I mean, I
Mm.
think, you constantly go, oh crap, what should I do now? And then you go, and you go into whatever mode. You call a friend or you panic or you take a nap, you know, whatever it is. So, I mean, I think that that's real. I think that's important because, I mean, this is, like you said, this is very lovely,
It is. Like right
you
now, I'm
know.
sitting here asking myself, why did I not have coffee? Oh, should I listen for the answer? Hmm. I think I just forgot.
And, and sometimes I think it's that simple, right? But I mean, but that's true. I mean, that's real. I think as a girl behaving metaphysically, everything doesn't have this deep, heavy, you know, God meaning, or God is simpler than we think. I mean, sometimes I think it's that we forget that I
Yeah.
forgot. I forgot to have
Yeah,
coffee. You were
I did.
right,
I was wrapped up watching something on YouTube early in the morning. I woke up super, super early because remember, it's like 7 a.m. here. So I
right.
woke up super, super early, which I've been doing lately because I've been just going to bed like super, super early. So I've been waking up. But, anyways, I really wanted to wake up early today, not just for the show, but also because it's my dad's birthday. He turned 80. And I just wanted to make sure that I got him on his birthday. Because if I waited too late, it'd be late in the US where he is. And then I'd miss telling him happy birthday or whatever. So I did that. And then I just got wrapped up in something called, I mean, I've heard it before. I don't think I've ever seen it. Brazilian butt lifts. And like it was like all these, because like once you watch one thing on YouTube, then they just like keep suggesting things to you. And here I'm like trying to I forgot about coffee because I was like, I couldn't believe it what I was seeing.
Yeah.
So I didn't have coffee because I got mesmerized by what people do to their derrieres. So I don't know what the spirituality is in that, but there's the answer. I got wrapped up looking at these things called Brazilian. But do you know what these things are?
Yeah, I've seen something, I don't know if it was an ad or it might have been a YouTube, something like that. I mean, I saw it and I was like, yeah, it was like, I can't. I can't right now.
It's incredible. I'm like, with everything going on the planet, like, which reminds me, I got to vote today because voting here in Australia is compulsory. You have to vote or you get fined. So, but of all the things happening in the world, like, I think I was really mesmerized and I forgot to get my coffee because they take fat from places around the body.
Yeah.
Then they do something to purify it and then inject it into the derriere. And it's like the deadliest plastic surgery on the planet, but one of the most popular. I don't know.
It's a big phenomenon right now.
I was fascinated. I was like, nobody's paying attention to politics. Everybody's doing this.
So, but maybe you were listening. I mean, maybe that's what you were called to listen to. You know what I mean? But really, even just to figure out, like, this is one of the deadliest surgeries on the planet, or whatever. Maybe that's information you need for something.
I was just fascinated. And I don't need it for anything because I'm not interested. It started because I was watching van life videos last night. I'm like obsessed with van life. Like, I don't want to do it, but I just find it really like a free way of like a free spirit approach to like living, I think, like on a planet. Anyways.
Well, and it's fascinating how much and how they can configure those vans.
I'm telling you, whole like luxury accommodations inside of a van. So anyways, I think the person that I watched before I turned my computer off last night was talking about this Brazilian butt lift phenomenon. But then I actually saw like these huge people making really big bottoms. Like,
it's scary. It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
It looks absurd to me.
There was like the one, it was this really, really thin woman. And then it's like, how your butt is in the back of you, but it was so big that her butt sort of came to the sides and then her legs just dropped, right? There was no like flow. And I don't know. This is fascinating to me. So much so that I forgot to get coffee this morning. And I guess I'm asking why.
Well, there you go. What is the why? What is the metaphysical in the Brazilian butt lift?
That's what I'm at. Okay, asking opens a pathway because that's why. Maybe why isn't the question though, because why I remember in grad school, when I first went to grad school, I had a professor say, never start research questions with why.
Why? Yeah. I tell that to my husband all the time. Because he'll ask me something and then he'll go, but why did you? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Why doesn't matter? What matters is what is.
Yeah.
So yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good topic. So what would you start the question with?
What
are you thinking?
What is the mechanism, or what is leading women and men now? They're like, they even show like pictures of men. Like, what is leading to this willingness to
transform your body?
Not just transform your body, to sort of like, because I guess it definitely is a transformation, but in some ways it almost looks like mutilation.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like if you say disfigure your body, it sounds like judgmental, which it is.
Okay. So I'm gonna draw a picture of what I saw.
I know. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Okay, so I'm not an artist, but that's the legs. And then this is the butt. It just does this. And that's the waist.
Yeah.
And then the butt, instead of being in the back, comes off the sides. That's what that, yeah. So like, how can we, that is a bit of a disfigurement. And yeah, maybe I'm not like, yeah, am I judging? I'm not, I'm just curious. Like, I am honestly like quite curious.
Right. Curious as to where they're coming from. Curious as to their why. Like, because it's beautiful, or because, spirit told me, or whatever. I mean, and the question doesn't have to be the why, but it's like, how does one get there? I mean, which could be the question for any plastic surgery on some level, but yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
It is fascinating. So anyways, asking opens a pathway. And I've since added arms to my drawing. So like, I'm an artist. I don't know if you know that. But yeah, I am curious about, like, so there is no place God is not. So what is this? Like, if everything is the divine, what is this showing us? The just how much free will we have, or this I don't know. I don't know. Maybe sometimes not asking is also okay.
Well, yeah, but I think it's, I mean, yes, and it brings up, I mean, we all have those questions about certain things, and it doesn't matter if it's, I mean, obviously this is something where people have a real choice. I know we have choice in everything, but we don't have choice. The individual doesn't have choice in, war or peace or physical, something more, something more that appears it's happening around you or to you. Whereas this is something somebody makes a conscious decision, like, I want to change my appearance. So if we start from that, I mean, obviously if you're doing anything on your body like that, in that realm, you're changing your appearance. And I would have to believe that generally that's because you feel it'll be more attractive. And then there's the many reasons why you don't feel attractive, or whether or not you feel worthy, or, all of the other things that we could come up with. But somehow this is attractive to people.
The very last person that I listened to about this was an actual plastic surgeon that was trying to was explaining the process, but explained why he had rejected a particular candidate. And it was because the person purposely wanted to be unattractive, to not attract the attention of men anymore. Which was, so when I say, so it's like there's so much depth there, even though on the surface it seems like, yeah, I got wrapped up because I was like, oh my goodness, there's this. And then, but as I'm like walking away, I'm listening to how someone wants to change their body so that it is like purposely unattractive to men.
It's interesting. I mean, again, that goes to our whys, right? And so it's interesting. I mean, like, where do, in terms of being of the belief that God gave us all what he gave us for a reason, right? Whatever that is. You know, it's interesting. I mean, I have to believe that God gave us plastic surgery and all of these things that we can do to alter our bodies for a reason as well, on some level. I know there are some that would say that God isn't in the plastic surgery.
But does that square up with? It doesn't square up to me. Sorry, my my kids are getting ready for school, so that's what you hear in the background.
No worries. No worries. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, so where it's a good question. So where is that? You know, how do we figure that out? Where do we draw the line? Where do our, you know, I mean, the feeling, not being judgmental necessarily. I don't think I'm being judgmental, but it does evoke in me a feeling of sadness on some level. I think for me, I don't know. First of all, like going under a knife for anything in my book is painful enough, or, you know, I'm thinking of things that you don't necessarily choose to have in your life, but I mean, just to do that. And then to choose to do plastic surgery or any of that, I mean, for me, it would be a big commitment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, I think about the premise of this show, right, is where we I almost feel like, you know, what we do or what we sit with is the reality that God is in everything. There is no place that God is not. And so if I believe that, and I do, look at that. I have no idea what I did for that. I think that was just a confirmation.
As a belief in God, praise God.
Yeah, but that got not just so much a belief, but like a real alive sense of knowing that God is always present. Like there is no absence. So this is because what I mean, at the end of the day, God wants to it's like it almost feel like God's an experiment in consciousness. And so like there is a consciousness that produces this. There's a consciousness that produces this sort of desire for this thing for whatever reason, whether it's to make oneself extremely unattractive or some attractive. But when you said you pick up a sadness, I think connecting to the emotional component of it is where that helps me find where the God is in this. Because if there is an underlying sadness, and I'm not saying that is for everyone, there might be a lot of joy, a lot of pride, but like then this is an expression of sadness from a place, you know, like for me anyways, if that's what it is. But that to me is how I always find my way back to where the God is in this, is I think about the emotional component of our choices. You know, our choices, are we choosing from a place of love, or are we choosing from a place of fear? Both have the presence in them, but I think we can sort of sense those sort of like higher frequency choices that come from a place of love. To me, they look a certain way, and choices that come from fear, they also look a certain way. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, that when I say from a place of sadness, I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that feels like, I mean, the sadness I sense from me around that is just that people don't realize their magnificence and their
Mm-hmm.
beauty and their,
Yeah.
just what they have, what they came to the planet with.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you can enhance this or buy that or do whatever you want to do. And, and sometimes that is um, just an extension of your celebration of life, I guess. And other times it's trying to fix or trying to, um, I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, another part of me thinks too, like there's that being an empathic person. I think that sometimes it's also a sense of um, sadness or what's the word I'm looking for? Like when you're not satisfied with yourself on some level,
Mm,
you know?
yeah. I think that's the place where also I can just deeply relate. I can just deeply relate. For me, that has always come up around for me around like my weight. So I just like, so for me, as much as I'm like fascinated by this, and whatever part of me that is engaging in judgment is doing so because like in somewhere in me I can identify with this. I can identify with
Mm.
this sense of um dissatisfaction around how I exist exactly as I am. I mean, it's not, it's not to like an extent like this, but I know I'm not in the sense, like, I think it's a part of the human condition as well. Like, and when I say like the ego-based part of the human condition, which I also think is one of the ways God comes to know itself, is through all of this stuff. That there is this thing in us that is usually always seeking more, never satisfied with, like, and then again, so here we go, brings it back to like spirituality for me, because when I pull myself out of that cycle, like inside of myself, it's usually through like practicing like some form of real deep gratitude. It usually brings me back to an appreciation for what is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go to break, I just have one more question about this, like totally on the other side of this, just
Yeah.
being real. How do you, what are they expecting? How do you even get pants to fit you? Clothes that will fit that shape? Because the shape, if you all look it up on YouTube, some of them are very ridiculous. It's not just a little butt enhancing or
No.
a little lift here. It's like, no. There is no, there's nothing that fits that.
No, because it's a new appendage.
Yeah.
There's like a new body part. Like, I don't know. Maybe do people make their clothes or they wear stretchy clothes, I guess? I don't know.
I don't know either. If anyone knows, please let us know. But we're going to take a break.
Yeah,
And
and we'll pull another card next time, but not about this.
this didn't start with the card. Well, it started with your coffee. All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll be back in just a few minutes. So come back, grab something, grab your coffee. If you've forgotten, grab your coffee. If you're in the United States, grab a cocktail. It's happy hour. And we'll see you right back here after the break.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here come the girls. It's more than practical. Here come the girls. Way more than merely factual. If you want to know the secrets of a life that's free, listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
And we're back. Welcome back
Yes,
to
we are.
Girls Behaving Metaphysically. So I just have to tell you that I was shuffling the cards while on the break, and I pulled one, and what it was, or what came up on top of the deck, I should say, is I embrace my body. I honor and embrace all of my body. I am receptive to her specific needs. So I don't know. We don't have to talk about that one. I just thought it was interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Given our topic.
Given what kept me from my coffee this morning was my fascination with this thing. Okay.
All right. So did you want to pull another card?
I think so. I think it, yeah, but can we do a different deck?
We can. We can, but you need to banter while I do that.
I need to banter while you pull. Like, you have to go away to get a deck? Look,
No.
I have my little book of mindfulness practices sitting right here. I've had this thing for at least over a decade, and I love it.
All right, you want to pull one then?
It's not it's a book.
All right, you want to open to a page?
Okay, yeah, I can open a page to.
I mean, I can pull a card. I have another deck right here, but I say just pull a card since you're telling us about it.
Okay, well, I don't have a card, but I do have this little book of mindfulness practices, so I just opened it up. First page, breathing. It says, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. That's what I got for. I'm actually going to do that right now.
Okay. I mean, I'm all about breathing. I mean, I think breathing is the key to everything. And I mean, saying
life.
that. Yeah, but really, no, but beyond that, if we're not breathing, there's a problem. But I mean, breathing is my, what do you call it? My prescription for almost every situation. Like to stop and breathe, like when you get confronted with that thing that when you're going within to find that still small voice that we talked about in the first half, it's like it's about sitting there and taking that breath to be able to really, for me, it clears the stage to be able to listen, to be able to hear, to be able to think beyond the circumstance. And I would say, especially in relationship, like, whether it's a work relationship or a partnership or whatever, it's like, or with kids, my God, if I don't breathe sometimes, and I'm very aware of when I don't, because my teenager will trigger me in no time flat if I don't take that breath, because I think because of just general life experience. I mean, as adults, we're like, oh no, you didn't. We're like, oh no, you don't think I tried to pull that too, or you don't think I know this, or you don't, like it's like somehow it's a magnet to bring up whatever, every story I have, and to win. No, I'm winning because I'm the parent, as opposed to taking the breath and really just being with whatever's going on, and especially where the other person is coming from. And obviously sometimes with our kids, it's a pain point, or a fear point or whatever. I mean, it's probably the same with adults as well, but it's easier to, it's easier to pick on them right now.
No, I'm reading, rereading this book, Peace in Every Step by Thich Nhat Hanh. And so I was listening to the audio version when I was driving to the clinic on Wednesday, but the night before, I've been struggling with like my kids coming to sleep in the bed with me and then it wakes me up and then I don't sleep. And then I'm like, I don't wake up thinking, I don't wake up from a place of gratitude. Let me just say that I wake up and I can be grumpy. And so I did that on Wednesday, and my daughter wakes up all fresh, because she slept in my bed. So she's all, good morning, mom, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like looking at her like, it's not a good morning. I'm tired, right? Like, and then like, I actually hurt her feelings. And I was, so when I got in the car and the audiobook was playing, and it went through this very exercise, like breathing in, I calm my body, breathing out, I smile. So I did a couple breaths of that. And I was like, I just become aware that I was not feeling peaceful. And I passed my lack of peacefulness on to my daughter. And so I called her from the car and just made a very deep apology to me. And I don't know, so there's something really beautiful about that 9-year-old. She's 9. And she was like, yeah, mom, I know you're just grumpy. It's okay. I love you. I was like, and I love you so much. And you didn't deserve me to be grumpy at you. And then she was like, mom, I love you so much. It's just like, it was like all forgiven, but it was just like breathing in and calming my body, which is like calming the nervous system, calming the story, and just smiling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
just brought me back home to myself,
Yeah. It's like the great neutralizer, the great, alchemy, that it's like it literally does something chemically to your body to just balance and to regroup, Yeah. And then couple that with your daughter saying, I love you. I mean, and you go to the place of a kid that's, filled with unconditional love, or a partner or a person. Like, I mean, I wonder that all the time with my partner. I'm like, no, all I need right now is for you to say you love me, instead of trying to figure it out or work it out or but why did you do this? And how come? I'm like, all I need right now is for you to love me, So, I mean, I think between breathing and loving, I mean, I think that's, that's the ticket. Like,
I think it is. I think that is like the ticket to, like, honestly, like all of the ways in which we war, like we bring war into ourselves. Like, I really do. I really, really think that is so true. I just do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. And I mean, I think that it's so, at the end of the day, we say it's all love. It's, God is love. Love is all there is. Love is the most important thing. And it's, I think, really love, between love and breathing, it just is a whole. If we could just remember that, I think that we would be at peace. I mean,
I think
breathing,
so.
Really, breathing somehow just gives you the space. Gives you the space to be able to understand, or to ask questions, or to say what you need, or whatever's being called forth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in agreement and ready to pull the next card.
All right. I am pulling from the Sacred Traveler deck. Okay, you call it, sister.
Okay, stop. When?
Watching clouds. Lie back, rest, and relax.
Mm.
Seems very in tune with breathing.
Mm. Mm. I love it. Can you read it again one more time? I think I might have needed to hear this.
Watching clouds. And it has beautiful hammock picture and a sailboat out on the ocean.
I love the color.
Yeah, it is pretty. Lie back, rest, and relax. And I can open the book and see what it says, but I mean, for me, it sounds like taking time for yourself and breathing, and knowing that taking time for yourself also it doesn't mean taking time necessarily to clean your house or to finish the projects or to do, but really to just to be, to know that, that is a to do, is to be, and to just be able to stop and really appreciate all that's out there.
Yeah.
How about for you?
Can you just read it one more time? I just love the words. I'm sorry. Can you just read it one more time? I just want to hear the words. I just want to hear them. I want them to sort of land in my heart.
Lie back, rest, and relax.
It's so in alignment with what we've been talking about. Like even just lying back in my chair right now, closing my eyes, feeling the full cycle of the breath. Like I can just feel a sort of calmness. And I always say that calmness is the gateway to peace. Like I can just feel that. Like even that curiosity I had before the break about like, why are people doing this to their bodies? Like, what is this about? Like, where's God in this? There was a lot of like, it felt like some type of like work that was happening in the cerebral part of me, but I wasn't necessarily in the heart part of me. And so doing this, just in that moment, just lying back, just laying my head back, closing my eyes, feeling that full cycle of breath, calming my body, smiling, listening to the words. There's just like, I can feel peace again. And it's almost like, yeah, there are certain things that are super interesting about why humans do things or all that it means to be human. And actually, it's okay. I don't need to understand all the reasons why anything is what it is, including why these things people choose to do to their bodies. Like, I can be at peace with that. It's really interesting. Just like that. I feel this peace around it that I didn't when I came and sat down at the start of the show. I wasn't feeling a sense of peace around it. I was feeling deep curiosity and yes, some judgment.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, for me, when things like that arise that may give me reason to pause or I might not be in alignment with or whatever, I think what you just said, it's like at the end of the day, you breathe and you go, okay, that's, I mean, one of my favorite things to do is to go, okay. And that's just not the way that I would do it.
Yeah.
It's just not, that just wouldn't be right for me. So it's really, letting go on some level, letting God, and just being. I'm going to read you what the description says. It says, watching clouds, lie back, rest, and relax. The card meaning, lie back, relax. Put anything and everything aside and take time to renew your energy. It's often when you totally relax that new insights and awarenesses can emerge. Take deep, full breaths, put your feet up, be present in each moment. Now, there's a key. Be present in each moment. Do nothing. Watch clouds. The answers that you seek will emerge easily. But first, you need to stop all activity. Take naps and evaluate your life. The sacred traveler wants you to know there are times when the most empowering thing the traveler can do is to step off the path, stretch out, and lie on the on the earth to watch the clouds float by. This act is renewing and regenerating. When all the activity of the road, I can't read it, and just diminishes, and the traveler allows a languid relaxation to emerge. This is the most often the time when the presence of spirit can be felt. And it goes on. But yeah, I mean, this is, it's funny, it's in alignment with the first card, right? So clearly the lesson today is to breathe and to let go and to relax. And I mean, what a powerful message on some level, you know?
I'm going to add that other piece about smiling, because there is a thing that happens when we just form a smile, you know, and it doesn't even have to be a big smile, just to, you know, like Thich Nhat Hanh was talking about, like even just a gentle smile, you know, it does start the process of releasing certain neurochemicals into the system that, that just help us feel happy.
Yeah, and I think that's such a great thing to take away today is really both. I mean, there's the power in being still, and there's the power in the smile and in the love and in all the ways that we do that. You know, just shifting to a position of love. You know, I mean, even sometimes when I'm mad or I'm in an argument with somebody, you know, that's close and family or near and dear to me, you know, when I'm having that moment, it's like, even if I stop and just think about the things I love about the person, you know, it's a game changer on some level because it takes you to that place.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And just walking through this process, like you saying, well, read this until the card, you know, you pull the card or whatever. And so reading that reminded me of the book that I'm rereading. It reminded me of the interaction with my daughter. And now just because like when I asked you to read it again and I laid back and I listened and took the words into my heart with the gentle smile, I literally, this is what I mean, everything is connected. And that I know that there's no place God is not, because I realized where the God was in this situation where I got like plugged into these Brazilian butt lift vlogs or whatever they were this morning. I wanted to stop drinking coffee, and I have not had coffee, and I'm actually noticing right now, because coffee, you know, it sort of like it's fake energy. And if I'm not careful with coffee, it can like trigger something that feels like anxiety in my body, which is not wonderful for me. But I haven't had the coffee. I breathe with you, had a couple laughs, breathe, smile, lay back, relax. And I don't even feel the desire for the coffee. And I'm like, there's the God in all of it. Because I've been wanting to like eliminate coffee because it can trigger that feeling of like anxious nervousness in me. And which is something that I've struggled with, and I don't want anyway. So I almost feel like it's all come full circle around where the God is in this for me.
Right.
Yeah. Not even. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I mean, and I think so often that's the way our messages come, right? You think it's one thing, but it's really another, you know? And so what I would say to our listeners is, you know, I challenge you this week to watch clouds and to really take that moment and to be aware of when you can smile. Because there's so many times I know for myself that I could smile, but I don't want to, or I'm too tired, or, you know. But what would it cost really if I pushed the smile, you know, not only for myself, but for whoever I'm with or talking to or whatever I'm doing. And like you said, and like we said, it changes the chemical makeup. So
yeah,
that's the challenge. You are your own smile lift. we can do our own operation right here easily and effortlessly. Lift that smile, take that time to rest and relax and watch clouds, and join us next week.
Yeah, please do, where we will be here probably starting off in a super interesting way again and landing in a beautiful place.
Yeah. So watch for the signs along the way, and feel free to send us a message in the chat or email us and let us know what you want to hear us talk about.
Sounds
and thank
good.
you to our special producer today, since our producer is off out and about gallivanting at conferences and camp and all kinds of things. But thank you to our temporary producer who would put up our email address if he could find it. But since he can't, you'll just have to put a note in the chat if you're on YouTube or wherever, and we'll get it. All right, everybody, we are excited that you were here, and we're excited to be with you, and we're excited to see you next week, right?
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here come the girls. It's more than practical. Here come the girls. Way more than merely factual. If you want to know the secrets of a life that's free, listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.